And Simran here, and we are talking about pelvic health, and it is for men and women because men do have the pooping in their pelvis. And today we are talking about cystitis, which
Yeah.
is a UTI. And like I said, it affects both men and women. Actually, more women than men, but just we've got more bells and whistles too.
Most definitely.
So we've got a PowerPoint here. There we go. Yeah. So Simran has graciously offered to hop in. Normally Daryl is doing this one with me, but it's Simran and I today. Daryl is in the midst of traveling, so here we are. So thank you for showing up.
Of
So
course. Happy to be here.
So, cystitis, what is it? It's a urinary tract infection that affects men after the age of 50. It's a bladder infection from, it could be bacteria that's on the skin or from the bowel that enters the urethra and the bladder. Can be acute, sudden, or interstitial, chronic, long term. So uh, the causes likely from prostate infection, high Rose, cancer, and obstruction, or enlarged prostate. Now that's for men because originally we were going to talk about men only, but because it's Simran and I, we're going to include women. And it can be chronic or sudden. And the causes that this is what I when I did the research, this is what they were saying: bacterial infection, and most of the time they were saying it was sexually transmitted infection, an overgrowth of normal bacteria. So your normal bacteria, I mean, we all have good bacteria and bad bacteria, and the bad bacteria should be a small amount. We need a little bit there. But when that starts to grow too much, that would be an overgrowth of normal bacteria. For women, it can happen after childbirth because there's a lot of movement down there. And when you've got that pooping in your pelvis, and the tissues are infected, well, it's going to infect other areas too, like the bladder. Sometimes for men and women too, it could be they inserted no. For women, it could be douching, and that could push the bacteria up further. Um, it could be because of a D&C or introducing a UTI, IUD, sorry. There you go. I think I got them all.
Yeah.
You know what, Simran, I'm going to let you take this one away.
Yeah. The different types of UTIs, there's bacterial. So bacteria enters the bladder. Drug-induced. So irritate bladder as they exit chemo drugs. Radiation in pelvic region damages the healthy cells. Foreign body, so a catheter, a stent, or other endoscopic instruments, the bacteria will enter when inserted or removed. Chemical, so chemotherapy, soaps, spermicides, gels, and dyes. So that's why a lot of women will say, like, be careful using soap to wash down there, because especially if they're scented and you don't know if you're not paying attention to the ingredients, that can.
Yeah, because there's a lot of chemicals, especially if your soap is got a scent to it. They're majority of them. The scents are from a conglomerate of chemicals.
Yeah.
So risk factors. Difficulty emptying the bladder. So sometimes, especially men, they'll find that they have a hard time emptying the bladder when they've got cystitis or a UTI. Friction from sexual activity. Again, that could be both men and women. A diabetic, high sugar levels in urine equals bacterial overgrowth. So when there's high sugar levels, I mean, bacteria, that's what they love, right? So they are going to grow out of control.
Yeah.
And unprotected anal sex. And that was more for men. Do you want to go with the symptoms?
Yeah, so some symptoms would be pain, burning, stinging when urinating, frequent urination, dark, cloudy, or strong smelling urine, urgent need to pass urine, pain in the lower stomach, fever, tiredness, weakness, and aches, irritability, lack of appetite, nausea, and vomiting.
And what the medical system would do. In mild cases, sometimes it just goes away on its own. But usually it's antibiotics and uh, acetaminophen or ibuprofen. So that's an over the counter. Drinking more water, drinking cranberry juice. This is what the medical system says, and avoiding alcohol. Um, you know, what we would suggest is get yourself on the Perfect Day protocol. So the easiest way to do that is to download the PDG free and start going through the Perfect Day protocol, because the biggest problem is the large intestine, right? The large intestine, it's not leaky gut, it's leaky large intestine. And it's leaky large intestine because of the fungus. The fungus, they're the worst predators. They cause they actually drill little holes in that large intestine. So anything transitioning through the large intestine has the opportunity to fall into the pelvic bowl. When that happens, the tissues down there get irritated, and then they get inflamed, and then they get infected, and that's where you would get the UTI or the cystitis, and then you get tissue rot. So when anything is inflamed or infected, it is not going to be able to contract and expand the way it's supposed to. So yes, you're either going to you can have problem releasing all the urine, or problem just urinating because of the infection and inflammation.
Most definitely. And we do have a lot of products that help with starting with the process of cleaning up and just getting all that stuff that shouldn't be in there out of your system. So our daily cleansing tea, our black gold, structured water, and now the cell power we have is like our amazing like gentle detoxes you can do every day to help start to clean out that manure pile.
So with the black gold works only in the digestive tract. It takes about 2 days to transition out. While it's in there, it's getting rid of viruses, bad bacteria, fungus, and parasites. That's what we want to get rid of, right?
Yeah.
Especially that fungus. And then it's supporting the good microbiome. So when the good microbiome starts to flourish, everything is symbiotic, right? So when the good guys go up here, the bad guys have to start falling away. The daily cleansing tea. Oh, another thing about the black gold, it repairs the holes in the large intestine. The daily cleansing tea is for cleaning out all of the inner organs. You know, we live in such a toxic world. There's no way that we can expect our body to keep up with the work that needs to be done without taking something. There's absolutely no way. It's not going to work. We have to be able to supply the body what it needs. We have to be able to give it that hand up so you can get healthy, because it's just not going to happen otherwise. So the daily cleansing tea, it's called daily cleansing tea because you should be taking it daily. And it's going to help with the bowel movement to get all those toxins released. Do you want to go with this one?
Yeah. So for more information on all of this, you can go to the docdetoxlibrary.com and you can start to read up and learn and do your own research before you take our word for it. All of the information is there that explains everything and how our pelvis is our holy grail. And it's very important to keep that healthy and clean to have a healthy and clean lifestyle.
So you would want to look at things like Healthy to 100, which is a lighthearted. There's a lot of humor in that book. A lighthearted way of looking at how your body works. The next one I've got uh, the domino effect of normal in living. I don't want to be normal. I don't know about you, but this is the domino effect in normal living, which is the majority of the people. That is what we're talking about here, and the leaky large intestine. The next one is a highway to health. So if you really want to start learning how your body can become healthy, this is a good book to be going through. And then the large intestine, or holy crap, the large intestine is the holy grail. And we've just got to understand that when we can have a healthy large intestine, that turns our health around. And I don't care what kind of disease you have, it's going to turn your health around if you can support that large intestine and bring it back to health.
Most definitely. And on that, I've witnessed a few clients since working with Daryl that they've done the diet cleanup and started the body work, and they were able to turn their health around completely, and they focused on cleaning out that large intestine. So I like it. It was amazing to see that.
And then, of course, the ultimate coffee enema. So, an ultimate coffee enema isn't about cleaning out the large intestine. That's what a lot of people think. They think a coffee enema is about cleaning out the large intestine. Yes, it does that, but that's not the reason you're doing it. The reason you're doing it is to support the liver. Your liver is your biggest organ of detoxification. When you make your coffee enema, you're going to put some black gold in with the coffee, and you're going to take 2 cups of water and structured water, and you're going to bring that to a boil with your coffee and your black gold. You're going to boil it for 5 minutes and then turn it down to simmer for 15. You're going to take it off the element, and then you can add 2 cups of cool structured water to cool it down. And then you can add either Tummy Love or Black Diamond crystals. And then you're ready to strain it and put it in the bucket. Make sure that it is a good temperature for you. What I do is I'll take my fingers and put it in there, and if I can hold my fingers in the bucket, it's a good temperature. I like it to be slightly over body temperature, so when it's going in, I can actually feel where it is. So then you're ready to get into the bathroom. I like to either if I've only got a shower, I'm going to put an old yoga mat down and I'm going to lie down in the shower. Some showers are shorter; you have to put your legs up, and then you can insert the tube, making sure that you've got the coffee going all the way down into the tube because you don't want all that air going in you. Lubricate the end. You're lying on your left side first. You're going to put a third of the coffee in there, and then I want you to do some jiggling in your belly especially over by the right hip. That's where the ileosacral valve is, and quite often it gets locked open. It should be opening and closing as needed. So we want to encourage that opening and closing. So do that jiggling. Then you're going to lie down on your back and put another third in and do some more jiggling. Some people will do have their belly button therapy and do a little bit of belly button therapy if you can. Some people will take a thumper, maybe even before you start, just to stimulate some movement in there. And so you do that jiggling, and then you're going to lie on your right side and finish putting the rest of the coffee in. And I like to listen to where I hear gurgling and where I feel sensations so that I know that it's come all the way down to that ileosacral valve. That's the goal. When you've got all that coffee in, then if you can hold it for even just 3 minutes, you've allowed your entire blood system to run through the liver when the liver is on hyperdrive. See, the green coffee, it enters into the hepatic portal, which is about 2 inches above the rectum. So that has direct access to the liver. And so when that coffee hits the liver, your liver starts producing antioxidants like crazy. So glutathione and two other ones. And so anything going through the liver is actually getting cleansed on hyperdrive, is what I would call it. So 3 minutes, your whole entire blood system has gone through the liver. If you can hold it 6 minutes, it's gone through twice. 9 minutes, 3 times. 12 minutes, 4 times. You don't need to hold it any longer than that. So, after 12 minutes, you can get up and release it. If you get the urge before that, get up and release it. And if you had a hard time holding even 3 minutes, the next time you do it, you might want to do a warm water with a little bit of tummy love in there before you do the ultimate coffee enema, just to help yourself get used to what it feels like, especially if it's your first time. And then remember to be playful. This shouldn't be cursing and getting upset. This should be allowing your body to do what it is going to do and be okay with it. The fact that you got down and put the tube in your rectum and started the flow, I'm going to give you a gold star, because there you are, you're doing it. The next time's going to be better, and the next time's going to be better, and the next time's going to be better. You know, when we were kids and we started walking, we couldn't do it. We had to hold on to something to stand up. And then, when we let go, quite often we were afraid and we'd fall down. And it's okay that that child got up again. None of us would be walking if we didn't. you
Yeah.
know so just know that we want to be childlike, especially when we're doing something that we're unfamiliar with. And the reason we got those nutraceuticals in there is because they're going to help pull the toxins, so that the toxins don't get reabsorbed as they're going through the large intestine. Do you have anything else to add to that, Simran?
No, it's definitely a game changer using the black gold and black diamond. Um, and there was something else I was gonna say, but it slipped my mind.
Yeah, it I spoke to a gentleman yesterday, and he had done coffee enemas before, and then I walked him through how to do the ultimate coffee enema, and he gave me a call about an hour later. And actually, I wasn't able to answer the phone, but he left me a message and said, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. When you can cleanse your blood, I mean, this is our life stream, right? When you can cleanse it on hyperdrive, you're going to notice a difference. Your energy level is going to be there. You're going to feel that brightness back into your body. It's going to put a smile back on your face. You won't feel like you've got lead feet.
Most definitely. And something that I actually enjoy doing when I'm doing my coffee enema is or ultimate coffee enema is play meditation music or even do a meditation while I'm doing it because, A, you're focusing on your breathing when you're meditating, and that's a very important aspect of breathing through as the enema is going through your large intestine. So that personally really helps me, if anyone who hasn't tried it yet wants to. Just
Yeah,
also get your mind out of, like, trying to hold it.
yeah, it's good to have maybe some, spa type music on, maybe put a candle in the bathroom, no bright lights, and just be prepared for whatever might happen, and be okay with it. Everything is washable.
Mhm,
It just is. It just is. That's one of the reasons why when I first started doing them, I went right into the tub or right into the shower. And then if I had a bit of an accident, it was something that I could either scoop up if it was solid, or let the water just take it down if it was liquid. Yeah. And then there's the rectal or vaginal infusion. So, gentlemen, you can be doing this infusion rectally. If you're going to do it rectally, you need to do that ultimate coffee enema first. And the reason you want to do that is actually to give this infusion the room it needs to actually be absorbed properly. So in this case, when you do a ultimate coffee enema, the fact that it's cleaning out the large intestine is important, especially if you're going to follow with a rectal infusion. Now, remember, anytime that we can do nutraceuticals from the bottom up, they're being absorbed 65% better because they're not going through the digestion. So we've got the Beyond Ormus in there. If I was putting that into my vaginal infusion, I would only put a couple of drops. It is very, very high vibration, and it's going to liquefy a little bit. So it's kind of like, well, it has the same effects on the gel as the black diamond does. So they're both very, very high vibrational, and that's going to liquefy the gel. So you don't want to put too much. The Ormus minerals are an amazing thing for us to be taking orally too. They pretty much get absorbed. They don't even enter into the digestive tract, and they'll definitely make it so that you sleep better. You'll probably start having some dreams. Um,
I
and in the infusion, of course, it's supporting all the cells. Do you want to talk about one of the other things?
I was gonna say the Beyond Ormus, when I started taking it, I noticed I would take it in the morning, and I noticed improvement in my energy levels throughout the day. I
Yeah,
had more
energy and
energy.
your clarity of thinking. Anybody who's anxious or depressed, I would highly recommend, or any mental illness. It's got more to do with your minerals than anything else. Our minerals are the spark of life.
Yeah.
We need them, and our foods, we're not getting them. We're just not getting much from our foods anymore. They don't have the spark of life that they did, 50, 75 years ago. It's just not there because the soil is degraded. They definitely have us ruled, schooled, and fooled for sure.
Yeah.
So we can't think that we get the same thing from one carrot today as we did 50 years ago, because we don't. We'd have to we'd have to eat a few, 6-pound bags of carrots. It's that horrendous right now. We've got the C60 in there. Now, the C60 is the best thing for neutralizing free radicals. It neutralizes free radicals 260 times more effective than vitamin C. It is also absorbed into the body. So when you're taking it orally, you just put it under your tongue, hold it there for a good minute or two, let the saliva get there, and then swallow. And it totally, the saliva breaks it down, and then it gets absorbed. When we're putting it in the other way, Well, we're supporting all the tissues. We're supporting all the tissues as far as that goes. We're supporting our nervous system, our brain health, our eye health, and the mitochondria of every single cell. So it puts the right spin on the mitochondria. Mitochondria is our energy in the cells. Do you want to talk about another one? I need a drink.
Yeah. Um, there's the fulvic nano drops. So that's again just helping to restore the tissue and clean up everything that shouldn't be in there. And the thing I love about these products is they're universal on how you use them on your body, on or in your body. So the fulvic drops are for your generally for your eyes, to help with your eyesight. But if you have an issue with your ear, you can put a couple drops in. Well, one will do it, and a warm compress, and do it a few times, and whatever's going on there, it will fix it. And then rectally or vaginally, it helps as well. 'Cause fulvic, we need that. And as Lorraine said, we're not getting it from our foods. So in any way we can get that in our body, it's just gonna help with detox and restore the good stuff.
And the fulvic actually goes deeper into the body than the humic does, unless it's the black diamond crystals, because they are a very, very, very tiny, 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 teeny tiny molecule. It's so tiny it crosses over the blood-brain barrier. So the fulvic, the nanofulvic drops, and the black diamond and the black gold from when you did the coffee enema, all of these things balance hormones too. So when we can put them from the bottom up, again, 65% better. So anybody, women, if you're not having your periods regularly, this will bring them back. Or if your periods are heavy or long, this will help stabilize them and bring them back to what should be normal. And normal should be only about 3 days of flow. You might have some spotting to begin with, and then 3 days of flow, and maybe spotting on the next day. But pretty much it's only 3 days of flow. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a period anymore. But when I did, it was more like 7 to 10 days, and sometimes longer. We're not supposed to be there. That's somebody's body who is really toxic.
And I can fully attest to this because before I learned about reincarnation and what it was about, I was living a life of eating what I want, giving into those cravings, the normal way of living, and I would have, like, a really bad period for 7 days, like, really heavy, and then I learned about Daryl and all his teachings, and I started taking the product, and I started cleaning up my diet, and then it reduced to, like, 3 days, and I thought that wasn't normal, I thought something was wrong, and I talked to Lorraine and some of the other Pelvic girls, and I was like, "I don't know what's going on," and they're like, "No, that's normal, like, that's good." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, good, I'm on track." But
Yeah.
I can like, from experience, I went from that and bad thing to now 3 days of, "Oh, I have my period." Like, and I forget half the time because you don't have to be in pain.
Yeah.
Like, life
And
isn't
that's
supposed
that's
to be painful.
that's another thing is a lot of women have a lot of cramping and pain as they're coming up to their period, and then even afterwards and during. When we can balance those hormones, that takes care of all that. And then it becomes more of a pleasure rather than a curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and then the iodine is generally done on its own, and you wanna do that beforehand, like, a couple minutes before you do the infusion.
Yeah. So you would take you even gentlemen, I would encourage you to pick up the vaginal lube launcher, because that, to me, that would be the best thing for introducing the infusion rectally. And if you wanted to do the iodine, then make sure you've got two and you've got them loaded. For the iodine, I would put, um, if you've never tried it before, you might want to do 1/3 iodine to three, so 1 part iodine to 3 parts of distilled water. I found that I had no problem doing 1 teaspoon of iodine all on its own, and then holding that for about 30 seconds, and then introducing the infusion. And then we've got some essential oil there. So generally, most people will use frankincense, but you don't have to use frankincense. You could use immunity. You could use lavender. Um, you know, it it just like frankincense is the king of essential oils, so it'll address every single problem. The immunity, if I'm not feeling well, maybe that's what I need to do is to boost my immune system. So I'm going to use the immunity. The frankincense will boost my immune system too. When you start using the essential oils, you want to just use a couple of drops per infusion, and then you can work your way up to 10. Unless you're using the frankincense, which is a powerful frankincense. And then you probably want to stop it at about 4.
Yeah. And also for men, like speaking from an example of a client, they were experiencing hemorrhoids, and I told him, do an enema and then do the rectal infusion. And he did that consistently for 3 days and they went away.
There you go. There you go. Your body knows how to heal. So, of course, we want you to sign up for the Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention Masterclass. Our next one coming up now, this is for women only. We don't have one for men yet. There's not enough men out there who would consider coming to a class like this. And then we'd have to probably get men to teach it. And right now we don't have that. So this is for women. It's a 3-day class, generally done on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the next one coming up is in the end of June in Stewart, Florida. And then we are in Coffs Harbour, Australia, the end of August. And then the end of October, beginning of November, we are in Ixtapa, Mexico. So you can go to braveheartnation.com to get the exact dates and to sign up. And just remember that we have brought the price down by about 40%. So we want to get this information out. Number one, women, we do not need to live in pain. You know, we just don't. We've got to cut that right out of our lives. We should be able to be pain free at any age. All we have to do is support our beautiful bodies and give them what they need. That's it. You know, so the pelvic restoration and disease prevention, this is going to help anybody, any woman, really connect to that pelvic area. This is our divine feminine powerhouse for healing. When we can connect to that area, the magic happens. It just does. It just does. We're going to give you some tools of, different exercises you can be doing, some breath work you can work on, some meditations, the yoni egg, and we do the healing circles, which are so beneficial because sometimes I don't want to talk about what's going on in my life, but maybe somebody else is really comfortable in talking about what's happening in their life, and I get an aha moment out of it. And then maybe I feel comfortable after that saying something. It's so beautiful when we can get a group of ladies together. We get them to take a selfie on that first day, and then another selfie on the end of the third day, and compare the two. And the face is always brighter, always. Do you want to add
Most
anything?
definitely. Yeah, it was about a year ago at this time um we did the pelvic course in Stewart, Florida, and we had an 80-year-old woman come take it, and she had a bit of a hard time on the first day, but by the 3rd day, there was quite a bit of a difference, and then I saw her again, this past October in Bonita Springs, Florida, and she's thriving. Like, she's practicing everything she learned, doing everything, she's feeling amazing, she looks amazing, and she's 80. Like, there's no wrong time to start or too late. There's no too late.
Yeah, there's no too late. When's a good time to start? That'd be now. And
Yeah,
if you didn't take advantage of that now, guess what? You've got another breath. If I'm
yeah,
still above ground, there's another now. So if you want to really connect to this divine feminine powerhouse of healing and really bring back your body's health, this is what you need to take.
most definitely. It's life-changing.
And then, of course, we've got the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo, Mexico 5-star healing and training center. And there you go, 5-star healing training center. And yes, the classes.
And next week will be Lorraine and Carol, and then we just alternate.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, if you haven't done it right now, if you haven't done it by now, pick up yourself the download for the Perfect Day Manual. And if you're in the Calgary area, I just got another shipment, and you can give me a call 403-605-9216. They are regular $95 US, and I've got them for 125 Canadian. And actually, if you do the math, I think it works out to more like 130 Canadian. But 125 Canadian is what I'm selling them for. So you can give me a call and you can arrange a pickup. My number again is 403-605-9216. And just know that I am a master practitioner here in Calgary. So I'm doing the Wolf Non-Surgical, and I've got the Cellsonic. And if you're out of Calgary and you want me to come to you, if you can maybe find 5 or 8 friends who would like to get some treatment done, I'll come to you.
And, I'm in Barrie, Ontario, but I do also travel around, um, to the GTA area. If anybody wants treatments or specific pelvic treatments, abdominal treatments, um, anything head to toe, but pelvic related to get your pelvis functioning again, I'm available for that. You can call me at 705-984-1699.
Beautiful. So the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo Healing and Training Center, there is a 7-day or sometimes more than 7 days, depending on the couple, a couple's treatment and training where you and your husband or your spouse or your significant other train and work on each other. So now you can keep each other healthy. So the non-surgical is the most powerful body work, and what it does is it gets rid of crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue. So instead of the tissues being all stuck and uh, atrophied, we gently go in there and we start to open up the tissues and clean away the crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue. And now you've got blood flow and lymphatic flow. And that is the spark of life back there. And it's such a beautiful thing when we work on somebody and they come in with a cane or 2 canes and they leave with maybe just 1 cane instead of 2, or they're walking and they're upright and on their own. This is an amazing thing. So the couples treatment and training, so that's going to be the whole lifestyle and the Wolf Non-Surgical. And then there's the personal Wolf Non-Surgical training. So that would be you coming and just getting the Wolf Non-Surgical done, and probably it sounds like getting learning how to work on somebody else also. And then there's the Wolf non-surgical certification, where you would actually get certified in Wolf non-surgical. So you'd be able to bring in friends and family and start treating whoever you want. There is one just for athletes. So this would be more concentrated on the joints and muscles, and then the pain-free pelvic restoration. So that would be concentrated more on the hips, the pelvis area, low back. Um, Pain-free pelvic restoration and Wolf non-surgical. So it goes a little bit deeper. And then the pain-free pregnancy. So that would be for couples. Now that could be, it would be best if you came in before you got pregnant. Because you really want to be able to look at your lifestyle and be able to bring that beautiful spirit being into a pristine 9-month um, apartment.
Yeah.
And that's where you would learn how to do that. Do you want to add anything?
Um, I actually am working with um, clients clients that are looking to get pregnant, and they are a bit older and think that their time is, like, kind of up in missing the window, as they say, but ultimately it comes down to how healthy and clean the pelvis is, how healthy and clean for both, not just the woman. It's very important for the man as well, because both environments need to be clean, especially for any sperm to attach any egg. So and I've seen stats as well that some miscarriages aren't just because of the woman, it's because the sperm isn't attaching properly. So that's why this is amazing for couples, so they both can get the understanding of how important your holy grail health is, and yeah, I'm excited to see the journey of these 2 and how it goes.
Yeah, beautiful. So Ixtapa Ziwat Healing and Training Retreat. So that would be, I don't know. I just want to come down and relax and learn maybe just the diet part. Or maybe I just want to do an advanced water fast. Or maybe I just want to do some juicing. Or maybe I just want to enjoy the area and uh, spend some time at the ocean and in the sun and enjoy the beautiful structured saltwater pool and just be pampered a little bit because there's going to be someone preparing your meals. It's just a beautiful thing to do if you want to be able to increase your knowledge on how the body works and how you can supply it what it needs so the body can do the healing.
That all sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
even
you,
being in Mexico, walking
yeah.
on the beach, getting that iodine, it's just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. It is. It is. So it would become a healing and kind of a holiday.
Mhm.
So the Wolf Non-Surgical Personal Certification and Training courses, Dr. Sage Wolf is traveling all over the world right now. So you would need to call the 855 number, 1-855-900-4544, extension 5, and you would talk to Dr. Daryl Wolf. And you can call him on his US direct line or WhatsApp, the 469-861-9454. And that's where you could come to us or he could come to you worldwide. And the Dr. Daryl lectures, we just finished the one in Calgary, and thank you everyone who came and got to soak in that information. It's always a pleasure having Dr. Wolf here. He is very heart centered and he wants to be able to help everybody. And just know I've got all the products, and I am a master practitioner in Calgary. We've got the Cell Sonic. We are working out of the Wellness Hub. Again, you can give me a call, 403-605-9216. And I just got my second batch of the Perfect Day manuals in. So if you're on a list, give me a ring and we can set up a time or a place to for you to get it. The next one is in Kelowna. So Daryl left this morning and I think he's touched down in Kelowna by now. And he is going to be lecturing on Thursday, April the 25th. The meet and greet starts at 6 and then the lecture at 7 till 10. He'll be talking about reverse the irreversible, no more drugs, canes, surgery, or wheelchairs. Now, I don't know about you, I'm 66. I intend to be upright and cutting my grass at 99 if that's what I want to do. You know, I want to be able to, sometime after I've passed 100, just go to bed and fall asleep and be done and had a beautiful life. I want quality of life till the second I leave this body, and that is what we're trying to teach people. It is doable. We do not have to be in pain, whether you're a man, a woman, a child, we are a dog, a horse. None of us needs to be in pain. And we have the tools. And it is so easy, so easy. So
And it's
you can go to braveheartnation.com or bhnuniversity.com to sign up for the lectures. And they're going to be live on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
and I was just gonna say, it's up to you to make that massive personal action decision to want better, to feel better, to be able to play with your grandkids or just go for a walk on a nice day and not be in pain and have to cut it really short. The natural healing techniques and tools are out there, and we've seen the results, both Lorraine and I, with our own clients, so we're here for you.
So we've got a question here from B. What's the right age for girls to start their period? Now, generally, I would think early teens, but we're not seeing that anymore. We're not, and it's because of all the hormones and antibiotics that's in the meats that we're eating, and it's not just the meats; it's our vegetables too. All the crap that's in there. So it messes up the hormones. So yes, girls as young as 9 could be having a period. You look at their body structure, and I remember when I was probably 10 thinking that I was flat chested, but I was 10, right? I don't remember even thinking about having to, talk to my mom about getting a bra till I was about 13. I don't know about you, Simran, but that seems to be about the time I remember.
13, yeah, like 11, 11 to 13. But
Yeah,
like, when I was in elementary school, there were girls in, like, grade 5 that already were wearing bras.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So it's gotten younger and younger, and it's because of if you're eating meat, I mean, there's hormones in there, and unfortunately, even plastic containers. I mean, they're disrupting our hormones. Back home, a lot of girls start their period as early as 9 years old. Um,
yeah, he's talking about hot water
Hot water
country.
countries, yeah, perfectly normal. Well, and that may be the countries that are more uh, uh, I'm going to say poor, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Uh, more and because and in those areas, the farmers can't be giving their cattle herbicides or whatever they give them,
Yeah.
hormone shots, and antibiotics. And it's the antibiotics that kill off the good bacteria. And then you've got more fungus, parasites, um, viruses, bad bacteria. And when those things start to take over, I mean, yeah, the little girls' bodies aren't uh, being able to develop the way they should normally. The
No.
next one after that is in Oliver, BC. So Oliver is about an hour away from Kelowna. And Trish is the host. Her number is 250-689-0146. And that is for Saturday, April the 27th. The lecture starts at 10 a.m. and goes to 3 p.m. And it is a day with the doc, which is an amazing lecture that Dr. Wolf does. He does maybe about 4 or 5 Wolf non-surgicals on different people. He'll bring them up and talk about their health and where their issues in their tissues are, and then do a quick mini spot check. Well, not a spot check. He usually does about 15 minutes, something like that, depending on what's going on. And of course, he's brings with him a lot of humor and a lot of truth. You know, we've got to get back to realizing how the bodies came to be where it is, and we're not sugarcoating it anymore. All the other practitioners out there, they tiptoe around, and it could, part of it is they don't want to cross that line. They don't want to cross the line. And we're just saying, you know what, give your body what it needs. Your body knows how to heal. We get a cut, we don't question the fact that it's going to heal, and absolutely everything else we question. The next one is going to be in Toronto, Ontario, and this is with the beautiful Magdalena, and her number is 416-669-9351, and it is on Saturday, May 4th. So may the 4th be with you, and go out to see Dr. Wolf for the day of the doc. The lecture starts at 10 a.m. and goes till 3. And if I remember correctly, it's at some casino. But you can go to braveheartnation.com to sign up, or bhnuniversity.com. And all of these lectures are going to be live on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And the whole life coach certification. Um, we've got our next certification for the whole life coach, and the Wolf non-surgical, and the pelvic restoration and disease prevention masterclass for women in Stewart, Florida, starting June the 5th. And then in Coffs Harbour, Australia, starting August the 7th. And then in Ixtapa, Mexico, starting October the 17th. Again, you would go to either braveheartnation.com or bhn.com. Stewart, Florida, our host is Debbie and Dina. Debbie's number is 305-342-9559, and Dina's number is 786-488-7783. And that's in June, the beginning of June. So for the for the whole life coach first, it is 8 days. The Wolf non-surgical is 12 days. And then the pelvic restoration and disease prevention is 3 days. And I'm going to get you to take over.
And then the next certification would be Coffs Harbour, Australia. So Tora Klein is the host. Her phone number is 610-413-993-493. I recommend contacting her through WhatsApp. Any questions you have, she's there to help answer any questions. And the third training of this year will be Ixtapa, Mexico. Doc of Detox is the host, and you can call the USA Direct or WhatsApp 1-469-861-8884 or the toll-free number 1-855-900-4544 extension 5.
And the prices, like we mentioned earlier, the prices are down about 35 to 40%. The whole life coach certification is 9 days. There is usually 4 days of class, 1 day off, 4 days of class. And you really need that 1 day off just to ground and get centered and kind of chill a little bit before you go back again. But it is such a powerful training. This is where you crack the coconut from the inside out. We don't crack it from the outside in. You've got to do the inside work. And within that first 3 days, you are having an aha moment. It's like, oh my gosh, that is how I've been doing life, right? And
Yeah.
then you start the deep dive. It is 3,900, and if you're Australian, you're paying in Australian dollars. If you're Canadian, you're paying in Canadian dollars, and if you're American, you're paying in American dollars.
And then
They go ahead.
the Wolfram surgical certification is 12 days. So it's generally 5 days, 1 day off, 6 days, and $4,900. Then if you're doing the two together, it's a bit cheaper. So the neuro practitioner certification is 21 days, and that's 8,000. And then our pelvic restoration and disease prevention course is a 3-day master class, and that is $1,197.
And remember again, if you're Canadian, you're paying in Canadian dollars. If you're American, it's American dollars. And if you are Australian, it's Australian dollars. And again, one of the best things you can do, even before you take any of our classes, is download the Perfect Day manual and start going through it. I mean, if you could start doing your baby steps into the perfect day by the time, like if you downloaded that today and you signed up for June, well, that gives you half of April, all of May, and then June. So it'd give you a good 6 weeks on the perfect day. So by the time you got there, you would have brought the inflammation down by a significant amount. So yes, DACA detox testimonies. We are looking for testimonies. If you want to do live with somebody, that would be great. If you want to just send in a written testimony, that would be great. Or maybe just video yourself and send us in the video. So however you feel like you want to do that, we would love to hear how you experience all of these trainings, any of the lectures, and what you got out of it. And you can send that to you would find them at docofdetoxtestimonies.com. And I'm not sure where you would send them to. You know what? You could give me a ring. I'm going to find out where they get sent to. Or you know what? Phone the 855 number. That would be the best thing. So 855-900-4544 and say, hey, I've got a great testimony for you. How do I send it to you? And every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing the Doc Talk live Q&A. And that is that's on DACA Detox, Telegram, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, which is X, TikTok, and Instagram. This is where you can get your questions up, and we love all your questions. Your questions matter. You know, if there's something that you don't understand, put it up. We want to be able to help you. And here we are.
Yeah.
Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention Masterclass for men. No, not masterclass. Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention for men and women. This is our live Q&A. So you know what? If you didn't have a chance to get your questions up, please, when you're looking through this on any of our platforms, put the questions in there. We watch these lives and we make sure we answer them. Um, for more information about the Sovereign Indigenous Practitioner Protection, you can go to bhnuniversity.com. And just know that our app is so close to coming out. We're just months away. I think August is what we're shooting for.
It's going to be amazing. An amazing way to connect with people and the Braveheart community and just all be there to support each other on these healing journeys.
The only permanent health care is self care. The only permanent love is self love. You have to learn how to learn yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself first because you cannot give what you do not have. And, I counsel people all over the world. And most people can tell me they love who they are. Some people can tell me they love what they do. But if you are inflicted with any kind of dis-ease in the body, you are not loving the body. And that's where the problem lies. So getting into the library and start, looking at the 12 loving steps, doing the love band life band, 3 2 1, I've got this, doing the mirror work, connecting to the breath, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, slow your breathing down. These are the things that we teach you, and definitely going through all of the 12 loving steps. And then if you want to take a deeper dive, you could do the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence Masterclass, which used to cost almost $2,000. And it's up in the docadetox.com/library for anyone to take, and it doesn't cost you anything. So go ahead, Simran.
To rise to your full potential, fly. First, love yourself.
Yeah. Together we are stronger. Together we are Braveheart. And you know what? 3 2 1. We've got this.
Yes, we do.
And I love you guys.
And
Oh,
yeah, just remember
Braveheart
to
oath.
practice your oath. It's my core um, strategy that I first learned that helped me become strong in who I am and trust myself and trust that I'm making the right decisions for myself. Because at the end of the day, how can you help anyone else if you're not okay yourself? And that was my biggest lesson. I was always trying to take care of other people, be there to help them and give, but I was just draining myself and not recharging my battery. And now that I've learned to do it and I've been practicing and implement it into my life has completely changed, and people around me see it. So,
Yeah,
don't be afraid.
that Braveheart oath is an amazing thing.
Yes.
And of course, we want to, the highway to health. Most of us are not paying attention on what's going in. This, we get 6 inches or whatever of pleasure, and then how many
30
feet,
feet?
30 feet or more
Yeah.
of not so pleasure.
No.
So, really downloading that PDG Perfect Day guide free.com, you're going to get a beautiful understanding on how the body works. And that leaky large intestine, as things start to get inflamed and infected, they start to lose tone. And then instead of the transverse colon going straight across, it starts to droop down. You get knots and tissue swelling and contraction where it shouldn't be. We've really got to honor the large intestine if you want to get healthy.
It is the most important thing, and you will feel 1,000 times better when you start to take care of it. And that's it for today.
There we go. I want to thank you guys for joining, and just know that if, your questions matter. If you've got questions, send them in. Put them in the comments. Both Simran and I will be watching the comments and answering.
Yep, we are here for you. And don't hesitate to call either the toll-free number or me at 705-984-1699, or Lorraine.
Yeah, or me in Calgary, 403-605-9216. And your questions matter. We want to be able to help. And it's coming from the heart. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And now we can do it. Three,
Yep.
2, 1.
We got this.
We've got this. Love you guys. Thanks for
Love
joining.
you guys. Have a wonderful day, evening, life.
Wherever you are in this world.